Welcome to the Moxstars podcast. I am one of your hosts, Menace, and I'm here with Flash, Christopher Ritter. What's going on, dude?
What's up, man? That is it rolls off the tongue more than indestructible.
Yeah, I feel like it's fitting. It's very fitting. Yeah, you are a sneaky guy.
Coming at instant speed.
Yes, and at opportune moments.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, just a real menace on the stack, not to be confused with you, Menace.
Right. I'm sorcery speed Menace. You are instant speed Menace.
Yeah. Are there any spells of Magic that grant Menace at instant speed? That is like a super rare effect, I bet.
That is weird because I guess there's no really like room for it, right? Because if they declare blockers and you give something Menace, it's already declared blocking. So what will be?
Yeah, there's no reason to do it. Maybe is why it doesn't exist.
Yeah. Regardless, this is the Moxstars podcast. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome in.
Actually, there is a reason for it to exist. Let's go back because don't you have priority before combat? Just like if you're like, well, in Commander especially, if you want an opponent's creature to get through, you can just give it Menace on their turn before combat, and you know, if there's one creature on a board that has to get through and do damage to that player, you can do it. There is a reason for instant speed Menace to exist, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's very narrow. You know, like, is it worth the investment?
It's a commander card. It is a viable commander card.
I think if there was like, like Bloodthirsty Blade, that card that allows you to equip it to opponent's creatures and goad them, if that also said it gave it Menace, like gave that creature Menace, and you could do it at instant speed, then I'm all in. I think that's a worthwhile card.
You hear that, Wizards? This is free design space. And
you're getting it from the Moxstars podcast, the #1 podcast on the internet for Magic the Gathering, which is what we talk about.
We talk about it, and they denied us a content creator badge for Vegas this year.
Yeah.
Giving them as free stuff still? That is generosity of spirit.
Yeah, they have tagged us as the bad boys of Magic. They said we're partiers. And so if you guys heard that, you are rebels like we are, then hit that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up. Because we're bringing the vibes. We're bringing bad boy vibes, Ritter. And this is not going to stop us from showing up to the event. We're still going. Like, we're still going to be there. We're still bringing our bad boy energy.
Didn't Richard Garfield call us the naughty boys of Magic?
Yeah. He sent us a handwritten letter after Vegas last year.
He was like, the naughty boys of Magic. Yep.
Vibes are immaculate.
Simmer down.
Yeah, he's like, ooh, we saw you singing karaoke. Yep.
He said, I see you when you're sleeping. I know when you're awake. I know if you've been bad or good, and you have been bad. You've been the naughty boys of Magic. And no presents.
There was coal. There was coal in that letter. It was actually written with coal.
Did you know that Richard Garfield, with his magic money, bought a house at the North Pole? And he just makes toys for children.
In the form of cardboard, card-sized.
I mean, the game is a toy.
Yeah, 100%.
I've received it as a gift at Christmas, certainly.
Yeah, and we've had holiday-themed cards come out in the past.
Yep.
All right. Let's get on track.
That was not on track. I mean, that is, I got to say, if you're a listener of the podcast, that's the most we've talked about Magic the Gathering in the intro in a while, probably.
Long time. Yeah. Well, that's how you know this is going to be a special episode. But if you want to support the show even further than just hitting that subscribe button and thumbs up for the Bad Boys of MTG, you can find us on all major podcasting platforms where you can leave us a 5-star review, make us look super cool, even though we are already obviously super cool. We're bad boys. You can also find us on Patreon, where you can support us directly by becoming an official Pepperhead. You can support us for $3 a month, and with that, you get a free entry into every single one of our bi-weekly giveaways. Or you can support us at the cherry vanilla pepperhead level like UWP Quart, where for $5 a month, you get 2 free entries into each bi-weekly giveaway. And at the end of today's episode, if you've been paying attention, we are giving away one of our original Moxstars playmats, and it's been signed. It's been signed. So stay tuned. Item. Yes, very much a collector's item. Stay tuned to the end of the episode. We'll be spinning that wheel of fortune and figuring out who gets to take this lovely prize home. And then I'll be announcing a giveaway for next week as well. Since I did delay this one, I want to stay on track. We're going to be doing another giveaway next week as well. So if you become a patron, you can gain free entry. You can also join our Discord community server where we are talking about really cool things like last week's episode where we had Guy, Big Turbo spokesperson, on here talking about his Dargo, multiple Dargo lists, but in particular his Dargo Ikra Shadiki list, which the same day that episode dropped, Guy went out and competed at the South Sound Showdown and took down the entire tournament. Ended up winning first prize with this list here that you can see if you're on YouTube. It's on screen. If you're unfamiliar or for the uninitiated, Dargo is amazing. Partnered up with Ikra Shadiki, makes a Jund deck that focuses primarily on winning on turn 2. You know, this is what Guy was saying, is that with this deck, it pursues like lines like a victory that are almost like hidden and cloaked. Just like he was saying that just playing a land and then a dork on turn 1 means that he can win the game on turn 2, and he's mulliganing for like those types of hands. Just because when you play a dork with this deck on turn 1, like let's say you play Birds of Paradise, you have the land mana, the dork mana. You play a land on turn 2, now you have 2, 3 mana there available. Dargo can eat the bird, and so now you have 5 mana you can cast Dargo. So like that's the thing, is Dargo is also a sack outlet in the zone. So not only that, you're just able to generate like so much mana, and it's not like you're even giving, and there are no tells to it either.
Yeah, the lines are just like easy peasy to get into if you're mulliganing right.
Yes.
If you're an experienced Dargo player, it's just like, oh, you can have the gas, and you know it.
Yeah, like this here, Infernal Plunge. It's like you play a dork and then turn 2 you plunge. It's like, great, now I have 6 mana like after casting Dargo to go to pop the fuck off. So it's crazy how seamless like the lines are and how fast it is. And he said he was going to change the name of the deck. It's called... Hey,
speaking of seamless lines, that's a little preview of our main topic today.
Oh, it is. It is indeed. Don't spoil anything, Ritter.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. Please continue.
All right. So the thing with this is that the name right now is Pirate Blender. He is changing the name, at least unofficially, to Just Send It. I think that there's currently a mentality in the format, and this is why he was so successful last week, was that we've, as a meta, have shifted to the mid-range like so heavily. Mindset. Yep, we are. That's what this show is known for. We are the mid-range mindset. So we've been encouraging players to like, hey, play a little bit slower. Hey, aim for turn 4. Aim for turn 5. Like that's sort of like where we've found our ability to shine. And Guy took that, and now that's sort of like the popular opinion, which we've championed. Congratulations, Moxstars podcast. And has taken advantage of it, because now there's a gap where no one is expecting anybody to win it on turn 2. Like, and if you do, it is seen as like a Christmas land hand. Like it is.
Well, isn't that? Well, that's the beauty of Dargo, though, is that it's not built like those traditional like fragile ad naws. You're either doing it or not, like decks.
Yeah, it's not like Rogsai where, yeah, exactly, where you're like, you add Naws on turn 2, and if it resolves, you win. Like, no, this is like, far, like, yes, it is a glass cannon in the sense that, like, last week when we talked with him, saying that, like, if Bergie goes away, if someone's able to counter Bergie, send Bergie to the grave or exile it or whatever, the lines basically shut down. But the way that what you're saying is that this isn't reliant upon an ad nauseum to resolve in order to go off. It just
has multiple lines. Like it can do other things.
Yes, exactly. So this is a really versatile list. The lines almost are, they're incredibly easy to walk. They almost speak for themselves. So really great list. Super happy to have Guy on the show last week, and we'll have him on in the future to talk more about how he won. He wants to like do some more testing on this list, and once he's done that, we'll have him back on the show to sort of like talk through his adjustments and how he's seen the list evolve over time. That being said, Ritter, did you know that yesterday there were more secret layers announced?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
We're
go ahead.
going to talk about them.
Yeah. So secret layer, if you've been paying attention on the YouTube screen or on YouTube, I just have like the past sales, but there is something that is coming up. It is the 2024 Spring Super Drop. And
I mean, I have a question.
Yeah.
In terms of naming and stuff, they call them super drops, which implies
that they're super,
that they're super and that they're special. But this is just part of the regular product cycle now.
Yeah, like that's.
I mean, before we talk about these specific cards, the overarching thing that we're talking about before the show is that like secret layers are like it's been diluted by. They're just being drops constantly, and then also diluted by, the different treatments that are in the every single basic set release. It just seems like a way to perpetuate the product cycle without going through a full like design cycle of a full set.
Yeah,
like it's it only exists for reasons of capitalism and the product cycle.
Yeah,
rather than being special.
Yeah, that was like what it felt like. Like the original drops in 2019 were very much like, it was shocking because these were like arts and styles that we had never seen before in Magic, and so it captured the imagination. Like, and that's what Secret Lair has failed to do, I would say, in the past 2 years, has failed to capture the imagination because like none of these drops feel inspired. Like some of them do, like some artists really like put their, like, I would say just the majority of them don't feel inspired. What we are getting are products that come to the table with misprints, like words that are wrong, like that change how the card functions, and they just press send on it, just like Guy with Ikra Shadiki and Dargo. It's like these guys are just sending it without actually reviewing a lot of stuff. Like there was this drop, the Winter Super Drop, where we had God, what was it? It was this crazy, if you're on YouTube, it was this crazy like tarot card drop or whatever, and there's that counter spell, circuitous, I can't remember. I'll just click on it and we'll go through it. All right, Deceptive Divination. Circular Logic is what it's called, is a counter spell that allows you, or it has madness, so that when you discard it, you can pay 1 blue mana and counter target spell for something, right? So Circular Logic is a counter spell that says counter target spell unless its controller pays 1 for each card in your graveyard and has madness for 1 blue mana. Otherwise, it is 2 and a blue. They printed it as a sorcery, a counter spell at sorcery speed. So, and then when it was made like known to the world that it was a sorcery, they did nothing. They said, "Hey, we're not actually going to pause production. This was approved. We looked at it and we said that's all right. So we're not going to admit any fault here. We're just going to send it. If you buy it, congratulations, you now have a sorcery speed counterspell." So yeah, it literally is changing the function of how these things operate. And then they just announced, which isn't currently up on the website, but did you see that like troll? It's like a trolley. Everything's written in Comic Sans Secret Lair. It has like Mogus, God of Slaughter, and stuff like that.
I did not know.
Yeah. So this is if. Today we're going to talk about the Outlaw anthologies, but there was this other one that was all about like trolling and stuff like that. And they actually misspelled multiple words in their attempt to be like very trolly. And that just sort of like, well, I don't know. It's like nails on a chalkboard where it's like, can you guys just read something quick? Can you just read it and make the right decision and just correct it before you press send? So, regardless, Secret Lair doesn't feel inspired. They're making a lot of mistakes with it. None of the cards are necessary reprints that we need to see as a community to really become invested in them. We are getting lots of command towers. We're getting lots of basic lands. We're getting lots of, well, cards that have already been printed into Secret Lair. So like Outlaw Anthologies, we're going to look at volume 1 and 2. This is spoiled via a YouTube video. So there aren't really official photos of these cards outside of what was screenshot. So first card we have is Tezzeret the Seeker, which was already printed in a Secret Lair before. There's no outdoing the Metal Gear Solid Tezzeret the Seeker. I'm sorry. There's just not. Like, as an artist, if you chose this, choose a different card. This one's been done to its full capability. Like, I'm sorry. Same with Skull Clamp. Stop doing Skull Clamp. The fucking premier artwork has already been done. And then there's Grizzlebrand, which is banned. So why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yep.
Anyone plays that? I don't know. It's banned in pretty much every format.
It's not even a superior, cooler Grizzlebrand art. Unfortunately, Grizzlebrand was badass from the jump. Like, you got a lot to compete with, and this is just I don't know. Leather Daddy Grizzlebrand isn't cooler than the original printing.
Right. Let me see if I can pull up original Grizzlebrand quick. God damn you, Card Kingdom. Grizzlebrand. It is one of the most like stark, like it just feels so good as an artwork. It's like, it's dark, it's mysterious, it is powerful, it does everything you need it to do. It's beautiful. And like you said, there is really no competing with it. So we have Grizzlebrand here. We have Grenzo Havoc Razor, which hasn't been a valuable commander card in a long time. It has very niche. It feels very narrow niche. It says, if you deal combat damage to a player, whenever a creature, you goad target creature that player controls, or you exile the top card of that player's library until end of turn you may cast it and spend mana as if it were any color to cast it. So it does present like some level of card advantage. It's like Ragavan, but costs more mana and doesn't provide you a treasure. So it's worse Ragavan. Back in the day, it was great, but now it's sort of like we have so many printings of it, it's unnecessary. Nicol Bolas, Planeswalker. This is just, it's useless at this point. There's no sense in reprinting it. It has been a while since it's been reprinted, so the base variants have climbed up in price, but it's not because of playability, which I think there's like, as someone who, like, if you're trying to understand the market, you need to take a look and see that like these aren't cards that are playable. Their only reason they're going up is because they have collector value, or because they're scarce. So it's another one. This is like a $5 card. And this is a Secret Lair. It's a $5 Secret Lair card because nobody plays this card. It is 8 mana to cast for a Planeswalker that its plus is destroy target non-creature permanent. I know a 3 mana Planeswalker called Oko that does that. or like at least like it elks things for a plus. It just does more than this. Why would you play this? Question mark. We have Vorinclex, Voice of Hunger. I like this. I like the artwork. I like Vorinclex. I think it's a great card. It is a little bit of
pretty cool artwork. I feel it.
Yeah. Like if there's two cards out of this that I would get, it'd be the Vorinclex and the Corona. So Vorinclex, great card. It's a little bit feels bad. I think people still have that like perception of it, but Corona, False God. Now this is the card that I think people will chase from these drops because it's a 5-color commander that actually lends to all players sort of like having fun at the table. It is a 5/5 that says at the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player untaps Corona, False God, and gains control of it. Whenever Corona attacks, creatures of the creature type of your choice get +3/+3 until end of turn. So you can, it's like a Slicer, but Slicer's just 1 color, so it's much faster. This is like Slicer, but 5 colors, so you can sort of build the deck however you see fit. I've seen a lot of like propaganda type builds with this thing. But yeah, and it doesn't stop. Corona doesn't stop you from just hitting the original controller of Corona or the owner of Corona. So another little nuance to it. Another chase card from it. Corvold, Fakehurst King. I'm not sure if you knew this, but this is a CDH All-Star.
Sure is.
This card's great.
One relevant card to CDH in this drop, right?
Yes. Yeah. The only relevant card, unfortunately. And I feel like the CDH community is growing like at a rate that has faster than ever before. Like it's no doy. It's like, yeah, it's growing, but now we're starting to see CDH sort of like command a level of the market. So we interpret like prices based on how strong cards are, and CDH is influencing that more than ever. So I feel like this is going to be the most expensive card that we see from the set, just because this is probably the ultimate artwork for the card at the moment, or at least the most exciting one. So yeah, Corvold, great card. And then the last card from both sets is Memnarch, which is a 7-mana legendary artifact creature. It's also a wizard. An era. It's from a bygone era, but nonetheless, it definitely has some of that like nostalgic. I think like older players will definitely want to buy this and put it in their cubes or whatever. So back to the original point. Secret Lairs feel like they don't really require much talking about anymore until they really start feeling more inspired, or until they offer a product that feels that gets a value to players. Would you say?
I think that's fair. Like as we're talking, I've just been casually browsing other recent Secret Lairs, and they have, I think, stopped trying. I think, there used to be an ethos of greater value, or like a reason to the printings, rather than we can print it and people will buy it.
Yeah, and I'm like on Tuesday, I went out and I played casually. I played with a new deck that I built, the deck I built for my brother's birthday, and I went out just testing it out, and it fucking works. 1, it's great. But 2, one of the guys at the table was definitely a Secret Lair stan. He had a lot of cards in like that had alternate artworks in his deck. So I was sort of like admiring them, but then I also like thought to myself, because all of my decks are proxied now, I thought to myself, wow, it's like $700 on the board right now. And I didn't have to spend, and I also have like alternate, like I just printed the proxies as like my favorite artworks of all these different cards or whatever. And I still have like, and some of my cards are Secret Lair artworks. And I'm just like, I spent 10 cents on this one. you know, and I felt like pretty good, pretty proud of myself for that moment, you know, but it's like, man, your pocket is a lot lighter because of like how you decided to decorate this deck.
Well, I mean, we're against that ethos here on the show, but like, I mean, that is some people, they want to play Money the Game or Wallet the Gathering, and it's just like, all right, I get it. I mean, that's just an aspect of culture in general, not just with Magic. Just like some people interact, like we're interacting with the game as a game that offers like rewarding strategy puzzles and also like community and like, you know, the complicated bag of reasons that we do it. And then other people are just like, this is how they have chosen to spend their money, and the enjoyment comes from spending the money and having the shiniest product and the most bling and being able to like flex on people with that, like regardless of what, you know, the coherence aesthetically or the other things that like we're valuing. And it's great that Magic can occupy, like, these two different perspectives can occupy the same space. I just feel like, and I don't know if you agree because we haven't talked like this specifically about it, that maybe the bling ethos and like and stuff is just like crowding out the like, hey, we love this game type people.
Yeah, I think there was for a while, you know, I was one of those players. Like, this is how I've evolved as like, or how I've grown as a player through time, is like, I very much want like when I build a deck, I want it to feel like it's my own, like that it carries some personality and it carries like my style and stuff like that. And like, that's what this product was for me, was like, I would see these secret layers and I'd feel like they were special, and they helped me express like some of that like personality. And now that we have so many of these, because like you said, these products feel like they're more meant to just fill the airwaves than they are meant to actually present like an actual quality product to your consumer. So like, that's where I like, now I see through the charade, you know, I'm not like really like convinced anymore. Especially now that like, I feel like that a lot of the products, and this is why we're the bad boys of MTG, like we don't really have any problem like criticizing like the company for these until we receive a cease and desist. You know, it's like we're able to like speak on these matters without really any repercussions. But the reason that I don't feel like it's necessary to purchase Magic product anymore is because I don't feel like I'm getting a product worth investing in, or I don't feel like I'm getting a quality product. Like, have I like,
don't like sell me junk and then be like, why aren't you spending money?
Yeah, this is glitter on the poop emoji. Like, that's what I feel like with like these products as of late. And like, there are people who very much want to play Standard, Pioneer, and Modern, and like those are formats that require you to have like real cards. And that's ultimately why we see non-foil variants of cards becoming more expensive than foil variants, which it was very much the opposite 5 years ago. But we have now seen that there is no consistency in product, or there's no real value in having a foil version when it could potentially be called out to a judge to be, you know, like a damaged or a marked card. So, you know, like we've seen quality dip. We've seen like the market just shift in a way that favors those 60 card formats. That if you are going to have real cards, you need them to be consistent. So like there's that element. You want to play those formats, like, yes, you need these real cards. Now, this is where if you don't need the real cards because you're playing Commander and is a casual format that your friends don't fucking care if you show up with printed cards from FedEx or not, like, what's the point? Like, just go on like whatever your proxy generator is, just select this artwork and print it out and then move on with your life. Like there's no sense, like they're just, every time they release products like this with the official artworks and stuff like that, you're just asking for proxy generators to scrape the artwork off and put it on a printer paper, or to print, you know, like there's NPC fill, you know, like that allows you to just make the same quality of card stock and use whatever artwork, fan generated, whatever. And it like, it's the same. It's the same. It plays the same. And you don't have to spend hundreds of dollars, if not thousands of dollars, to build a deck. When I was playing casually on Tuesday, I made sure that everyone was okay with me playing with a proxy deck. And if they said no, I would have just got up and been like, that's fine. I'll go find another table. Like, that's cool. This is a game. I'm not like, I'm not here to like, really flex on anybody or whatever for being financially responsible. But, you know, it's like, if that's the case and you don't want proxies, but the mentality was that like, man, I really just want, like, my friends all buy the cards and I want to buy the cards. And I feel this pressure that like, if I proxied, that I would be sort of like, it's almost like disrespecting the investment that other players have made, because it's like, oh, they bought the cards, they have real decks. I want to follow suit and I want to have real cards because they have real cards. Like, and they have like, well, I mean, frowned upon me for not having real cards.
It signifies your commitment to the game, that like you're taking it seriously enough to have the real cards.
Yeah. Yeah. And I made another birthday present.
You can get past that and you're playing with people that, yeah, I mean, but like if you can get past that and you're playing with people that like understand your commitment to the game already, like who cares? Play with the proxies.
Yeah. Like I made another birthday present for my neighbor. It was a deck that I already had built, but like it's a well-constructed deck. And more than anything, it is the time and the thought and like my commitment to the game over years of understanding how it works helped make that a special gift, and it helped make it a special deck. So they understand that even though I didn't spend a lot of money on it, it still had like all of the thought, all of the like the experience, all of the know-how of Magic the Gathering.
It's the thought that counts.
That contributed to making it that. So yeah. All right. Secret Lair, buying cards. Like for us here at the Moxstars podcast, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like for us to like buy into these products that no longer feel special. You're more than welcome as a listener to feel differently. We respect that. If you like these cards and you want to collect
the game
them,
however you want, there's there's the space for all types of perspective.
Yep, that's we're also an open platform for that too. So you might be able to, or you might disagree with us. If you do, we want to have those conversations. We want to know why you disagree, and we can talk about that in the comments. Or if you join the Discord server, we can talk about it there.
Yeah, if you I feel like there's two hot accusations we've lobbed, which is that Secret Lairs are a garbage product now, and that who cares about owning the cards, just proxy everything. If you disagree with either of those 2 points, that Secret Lairs are garbage and that you should just proxy everything, please, let's have that conversation. Let's do it.
Yeah, definitely. If you're a Commander player, that's how we feel. Like, proxy it. If you're playing 60 card format, if you're playing in public, you need real cards, obviously. If you're playing in private, there's no sense in not proxying. So
yeah, and again, just as a general point, not just about Magic, it is impossible to hurt a corporation such as Hasbro. Like, as an individual, your individual actions against Hasbro, who gives a shit? You have no responsibility as a private person towards this giant corporate entity that just wants to extract money from you.
Yeah, like, they have plenty of it.
That is your relationship between these two things. So fuck them. They don't owe you anything. You don't owe them anything, quite frankly.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel, where I'm like, hey, man, it's my bottom dollar right now that matters more than their bottom dollar. Like, before Wizards of the Coast was purchased by Hasbro, I was more inclined to support them financially, being like, I like this is like we live in Seattle. We want to support what is a local business, and a local community.
Interacting with Wizards employees on a pretty regular basis, just like casually, like, not unusual to sit down for a game of Magic out here and just someone that works for Wizards just is in the circle. Yeah, and this isn't like saying that we don't respect what they do either, like, because we still respect the game that they build, right? Like we still respect like the design elements that go into everything and all that. We're just not dropping hundreds of dollars on it, like as long as their checks get signed at the end of the day. If for whatever reason the Moxstars podcast becomes the reason that those guys don't get their check signed at the end of the day, which is highly unlikely, from this episode that might get 60 views. We don't have that smoke. Yeah. I'm going to say confidently, we do not have that smoke. So it's not going to happen.
Not yet. Just share this video with your friends on why you think that they should all get into proxying their decks to save them money so that their wives will stop hounding them for spending so much on Magic cards. And
yeah, buddy, if you got a family, proxy cards, take care of your family. Do not be the drill tweet about candles, but Magic the Gathering cards.
This shouldn't drive a wedge in your marriage, like financially. Oh man. Yeah, there's.
Hey, should we talk about products that people should buy?
Yes.
Our main topic.
Yeah, our main topic today, which we'll expand on this as much as we possibly can. We want to rank the top 5 sleeves that you can use for your cards, for your decks. Now, regardless of whether or not that's a proxy deck or not, this fits both of those categories. So, right off the bat. Coming in at number 5, we have Ultra Pro standard sleeves. They're deck protector sleeves. And if you're on YouTube, you can see on the screen that Ultra Pro offers a wide variety of products of this particular sleeve. Now, the particular sleeve, which I couldn't find on their website, you can find it at pretty much every LGS that you go to. The one that I'm talking about is the monocolored matte sleeve from Ultra Pro. It comes in at number 5, and if you can see on the screen right now, all of these artwork cards that are glossy from Ultra Pro, they suck. They're not good. Like, they stick when you're shuffling like a new deck like together. It's impossible. Not only do they feel like they're sticky and like hard to put together, but when you actually get it put together and you set your deck down, all the cards slide all over the place. So like that happens with a lot of sleeves. You need to like spend some time breaking them in. Like that it goes into like part of the process of just, in general as a Magic player, you should know this. But these ones are just worse than pretty much every other sleeve out there. That's why specifically the single color matte sleeve from Ultra Pro, they have textured backs to them, and the matte sleeve actually offers like an additional texture that when you're sleeving it, the cards fit really well, and then when you're shuffling it, they slide together smoothly. And then after you work with it for some time, these sleeves actually come together a little bit quicker than other sleeves as far as like making sure they don't slide around. So I'm all about, like, if I have to, if there's nothing else, if there's nothing else on the shelves, I'm okay with having these, I guess is where I'm at with it.
They'll do the job.
Exactly. They do the job. They're not as bad as their glossy artwork counterparts, which it seems that like for every set, because Ultra Pro sponsors Magic the Gathering, does all this, or is sponsored by Magic the Gathering or whatever, they have permissions to print artworks. The product they make is kind of ass. So
they are free swag quality deck sleeves, in my opinion.
Yes.
Like that is the context where I am sleeving up a deck with these, like at a convention or something. I got a pre-con and I just want to, like, we're going to have a quick real cash game, and this was also in the swag bag. I'll use these.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the one context.
Exactly. And that's what I got in the swag bag from from Vegas, was a pack of like Ultra Pro artwork sleeves, and they're still in the box. I never took them out. I might as well throw them in the trash. But it's one of those things where like you also have to look at the price when you're comparing a lot of these, because there's a certain investment involved. You just want to make sure that like your cards, if you are investing in them, are protected well. It is $12 for these really awful artwork sleeves. The matte ones are $9.99. So for a better product, you get something for $2 cheaper per 100 sleeves. So if you have tons of commander decks, it actually adds up to being like quite a bit of money you save just by going for what is perceptively like a worse sleeve based on the companies, however they market them. So that comes in at number 5. Number 4, we have Dragon Shield, the matte dual sleeves. There are very few sleeves out there in the world that are glossy that I will say are wonderful, because the surfaces can become scratched, and then your cards look like they're scratched, sort of thing. It's all about presenting and protecting. So
yeah, I mean, this is an aspect of aesthetics that is important. I think when we're ranking the card sleeves, that's something that is definitely weighted in my mind.
Yeah, and now here we have Dragon Shield, which is probably the most notorious like card sleeve on the market. They are everywhere. Like, that's why I had trouble saying if the Ultra Pro ones are the only ones on the rack. It's like, no, the odds are is like that every shop, the only thing they have on the rack is Dragon Shield. And
yeah, I honestly, they're everywhere. They're like Starbucks. They're like ubiquitous, and they are also Starbucks quality, which isn't necessarily bad quality, but it's just a sort of, to me, there is nothing special about a Dragon Shield sleeve.
Yeah, if you are in the Midwest and you are looking for coffee, Starbucks is going to be an acceptable stop. If you are in Seattle and you go for coffee, Starbucks is not an acceptable stop.
I think that's correct.
Yeah, so you just keep driving until you find something else, or you keep walking, either one. But here, it's $15 now. We're talking about increasing your investment. Now, these are like, this is the word of mouth sleeve that if you are an inexperienced player or you haven't really had much experience in Magic and you just want something to make your deck feel like more colorful, fit more of the vibe that you've like put into it, like Dragon Shield is going to be that for you. They offer hundreds. I would imagine hundreds of different like variations in color now.
Yeah.
No,
wide variety. Like, I mean, so my experience with Dragon Shield, and I've used them a few times. It's like they split. I think they're fragile. What it comes down to me.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna play, maybe you can shuffle your deck up dozens of times with these, hundreds of times. I don't know.
Yeah, you almost after a certain amount of time, like as a player, you'll start to understand how to like shuffle your cards together. And like if you're watching on camera, I have a set of cards in my hand. Take the corner, set them set the corner in, and then push them together. That is going to keep your Dragon Shields, which is what these are, from splitting. Like I've had these like sleeves for a couple years now, but you have to shuffle them appropriately. If you just set them in side by side like this, see how hard it is, you are going to split those Dragon Shield sleeves. They definitely break when they're presented with lateral pressure. And going in from the top, the thing about Dragon Shield that I don't like, which is why I have certain sleeves ranked higher than this, is the fact that they have so much excess plastic on the top.
Yeah.
That if you just put a card in there, let me show. I have to take it out of this sleeve. This is a better sleeve, and put it in a Dragon Shield sleeve. But if you just put a card into a Dragon Shield sleeve without a double sleeve in it, there is a ton of extra plastic at the top. And what happens is that over time, when you shuffle these together, that plastic ripples. And
Yep, it shows up. Yeah, those corners bend.
Yeah, the corners bend, the plastic ripples. I think that Dragon Shields are intentionally designed to, one, break over time. They're also intentionally designed to sell more product. So, yeah, if they break and you don't have 100 full sleeves like anymore, you got to go buy sleeves. There are times when you show up to a tournament and you have a deck that's been sleeved and like is all worked in together and stuff like that, and then you go to shuffle it because you're playing Dragon Shields, one splits. I'm sorry, if you didn't bring an extra sleeve with you, like you're at the counter and you're buying an extra set of sleeves and you are unsleeving and resleeving your deck and potentially getting a game loss.
Yeah, it's made to be a disposable product. I think it's designed obsolescence. Like it's meant for you to have to buy it again.
Yeah, this the excess plastic at the top is designed so that you buy an inner sleeve. And so from Dragon Shield themselves, you buy an inner sleeve, and then when you double sleeve this, it will fit appropriately. There's still a little bit of excess at top, but yes, it'll fit appropriately.
Yeah, I mean, it'll fit appropriately, but still the outer sleeve itself is going to wear and have to be replaced.
Yes.
So you're not... Yeah.
Doesn't change that.
Yep. Want to go to number 3?
Yep, number 3.
Honestly, I feel like my final thought on Dragon Shields is just don't use them. Like if you have no other choice,
there are better options.
Yeah, there's much better options.
Yes.
There's a huge jump in quality. 4 and 5 are just hey, we're rounding out this list.
Yeah.
3 and up is you can buy these products. You should buy these products.
Yes. So number 3 is the same company. It's Dragon Shield, but it is a different style of sleeve that they create. These are the matte art sleeves. These are what they consider brushed. Now, number 3, the brushed art matte sleeve from Dragon Shield still has the excess plastic, but whatever the difference in production is for this makes a more durable sleeve. It's cheaper by $1, and whatever that brush texture is on the back makes it so much easier to shuffle than their other products. So it's a very minute difference. It's just the little small things that add up to making a better product. And as a player, I've been playing for a long time and I've had to buy a lot of different sleeves. These ones are just far better than their predecessor, which is their mass produced the monocolor matte sleeves. These brushed art sleeves, one, allow you to add a little bit more personality to your decks. They have a lot of different artworks, from Batman to My Hero Academia to multiple other things. But these ones, just the way that the texture is on the back allows for a smoother shuffle, allows for less breakings, breaking at the seams, and then you still run into that problem where there is excess plastic at the top. There is still rippling when you use the deck for 3 months or maybe 2 months, depends how much you play. So another product, unfortunately, because of how Dragon Shield has structured themselves and how they design their sleeves, is going to wear thin on you sooner than you would hope. So
yeah, maybe I should have put that line of demarcation at hey, buy products number 1 and 2. Number 3.
Yeah. Now this is one that no, this is one that if I like the artwork, every year for every holiday they have a dragon themed brushed art thing, Valentine's Day.
All right, let's put an asterisk on this one. If you absolutely must have art on your sleeves instead of a gentlemanly, dignified, full color sleeve, these ones are good.
These ones are good. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. If you really want artwork, you want to express yourself a little bit more, that's great. The ones I have up on screen are the Mona Lisa brushed art ones. So they had a series where they did classical pieces of artwork and then they added dragons to them in the artwork to make them fit their brand. This one is the one I used to sleeve Hepatra back in the day, because Hepatra's flavor text says her subtle smile is suffused with venom. And what's Mona Lisa known for? That subtle smile. So it was very fitting for the deck, and the color scheme worked really well. So that's why I felt this is a good sleeve, not just to fit the vibe of the deck, but it definitely was durable over time, or durable for my deck over time. I didn't play it very often because it was so savage. So, yeah. $14 for these. Not bad. $1 cheaper than the shittier variant. Number 2. Now, this is my favorite. The Eclipse.
Yeah, we did a little compromise pre-show. I had my number 1 with the bullet, and you accepted that this would be ranked number 2.
Yes. I
think it's fair to say this could be number 1. It could be a code number 1. It's just the format is top 5.
Yes, 1A, 1B. So 1B being the Eclipse Pro. So this is another Ultra Pro product, but they are the Eclipse branding of their product line and is the Pro Gloss. So like I said earlier, there are not many gloss sleeves that I would recommend, like that I would say that are worth it, that are out there. But these ones are definitely it. If you have foils that you want to show off, like this does a really great job of showing them off. And if you take the card that I have in my hand right now, whoop, sorry, camera, there's no excess plastic at the top. This is a sleeve that is designed to fit the card. It is not a sleeve that is designed to fit double sleeved cards to sell more product. Now that it doesn't have that excess plastic at the top, when you're shuffling it, it doesn't ripple. It'll ripple over a multiple years of use, and that's heavy use. Like I had Shalai and Halar, like a deck that I played at like a lot of different tournaments for over a year. Like that deck was like shuffled excessively, and I never switched the sleeves on that, and they were always Eclipse Pro Gloss. And like, so this is a sleeve that has earned my trust. And if I'm not like if I'm putting even my most expensive cards in them, I feel that they are secure even with a single sleeve. If you double sleeve them, the inner sleeve fits perfectly in lines with it. You just have to try a little bit harder to make sure that the sleeve gets in there. Like Dragon Shield, the double sleeve will just slide right in, and then it has a little room to like wiggle around. This provides no wiggle room. So
it's nice and snug. It's a perfect fit.
Yes, and once it goes in, it's in. Like it's like you don't, unless you need to take the card out because the sleeve for whatever reason, like breaks, which I've never ever had one of these Eclipse Pro sleeves split on me. So there is a level of quality here that is dramatically superior to the sleeves we've talked about so far on the show. So
for sure. Yeah.
These are wonderful. These are my preference. I'm really like every time I go out and I buy sleeves, always buying these every single time I have a new deck. If I gift a deck to somebody like my brother whose birthday it was just coming up, I put the cards in Eclipse Pros because I want him to know that I really thought about it. That I really took it into consideration. So plus they're super easy to shuffle right out the gate, and it doesn't take long to get them out of that slippery phase. Like, like when you shuffle and you set a new deck up, it has trouble like standing up straight. You can shuffle Eclipse Pro sleeves for 20 minutes and then go to the table and it won't be like sliding all over the place. You can't say the same thing about Dragon Shields, unfortunately. So there we go. Number 2, Eclipse Pro Gloss. If you really want to show off your foils, the Eclipse Matte are also beautiful. They're also a really great product. If you don't really care about showing off your foils, another really great product. So there's, as far as like quality goes, that's my only preference, is that I like foils, so I like the gloss over the matte. But the matte version of this is still better than all of the other sleeves that we've talked about so far. So, all right.
Hell yeah, I respect it.
All right, get on your soapbox, Ritter. 1A.
Number 1, the best sleeve I have ever used. Like literally from the first time I bought them, I have never looked back. They are durable. I don't think I've ever split one of these. I've shuffled them for years, hundreds of reps. I'm like, I will die on this hill. Ultimate Guard Katana sleeves. They shuffle great. They feel great. They got a lot of great colorways. They are, I think I should note, probably the most expensive. They can be up to $20. Between, like, if you look on Amazon, between 14 and 20, depending on the color. But I think they're the best sleeve, far and away. Like, man, I don't think I have a single deck that is sleeved in anything besides a Katana sleeve.
I've shuffled your decks a couple times, or at least cut them more than once, and like it always feels crispy, and that's like, I think that's what Katana sleeves do really well, is they have such a concise edge to them that feels strong.
Yep.
So I have the website open on the like visible here. They have multiple options for you to like figure out what is going to be ideal for you, or like, and funny enough, they actually call it the ideal fit. So it looks like they have different, like there is some variance in product that allows you to sort of customize your fit. So I'm guessing the precision fit.
They also have another line, Cortex sleeves, which I've never used. That's like half the price. I just want to mention that. But I've never used the Cortex. Like I'm full on a diehard for Katana.
Yeah, these are by a brand called Ultimate Guard, which over time has definitely earned the trust of a lot of content creators. Like the Professor is a big Ultimate Guard stan, loves the products, and has even had products made in his honor. So it's definitely like they are dedicated to bringing a quality product to the table. Like this is like, is it a little bit more expensive? Yes. Because, have they raised their price since pandemic? I'm sure they have.
Yeah. I think I probably bought them for $10 or $12 the first time I bought them. And now, like I said, the price range is 14 to 20.
Yeah. This feels like a product that does not cut corners. Like
it doesn't. And like, I've never had to replace it. Like,
yeah.
Like I said, I don't think I've ever had a sleeve split on me. Like, and even I want to say, like, I've gotten the white sleeves and shuffled those decks up dozens of times. The white sleeves still look pretty crispy this far in.
Yeah, the only Eclipse Pros that I buy now are just the white ones, and like it just feels good. Like I don't know why, but yeah, white sleeves just look really good, really crispy, especially with something like a product like this. It's durable, lasts a long time. Says a lot about the overall quality. Like the one thing that I love about Ultimate Guard is that as a company, they even have alternative products like deck boxes that I no longer buy. Ultra Pro deck boxes, or like the towers. Yeah. Like they take up so much space. They
do, and a lot of them don't fit double sleeved CDH decks or EDH decks that much. Like,
yeah, you
can double sleeve 60 cards in there, but if you want to double sleeve 100 cards, you might damage your cards getting them in the box.
Yeah, it's a tight fit until like that all the air somehow ekes out of the double sleeves and everything like that. Then the deck will fit better, but then even then you're still probably not fitting tokens into one of those. So the one thing that Ultra Pro or like that Ultimate Guard does is they have deck boxes that are that are designed to fit double sleeved 100 card decks, and they don't have all the excess plastic that's involved with the Ultra Pro product. Like they know you don't need a dice tray for every freaking deck. So they have created this product called the Boulder, which is now what I use for everything. And they even have a line that is using only salvaged and recycled plastics. So they're conscious of their effect and their footprint on planet Earth. And like, even though they're still producing like these plastic sleeves, they are trying to make them a durable product. So you don't have to throw them into the landfill like when they split. It's like they're trying to make
those deck boxes are also my go-to. I think I can't see them. My cards are put away right now. Like probably a dozen of them between the regular line and the compostable line. And they're another thing where I've had those for years and they still look like aesthetically, they still look really crispy. They look great.
Yep. And then you just take your dice and a little dice bag. Like if you play D&D, you're not taking your deck box with your dice tray. You're taking like a dice bag or
yeah,
whatever, you know, it's like, this is...
You can also never fit all the tokens and dice you need in whatever like space they provide you in a box, in a deck box. Like it's just, you need a separate vessel.
Yeah.
In general, if you're doing it right, you need a whole lot of accoutrement to play Magic.
Yes.
Apparently.
Yeah. Now more than ever, there've definitely been the addition of multiple outside of the game mechanics that contribute to the outcome. So yes, the one thing like that by bringing that up, I really want to say about Ultimate Guard is that they stick true to their name. They are trying to be the ultimate product. You know, and now does Ultra Pro create an ultra product with Eclipse? Yes, they do. Like, I really feel that way, but their mission isn't to like continuously produce exceptional products. Like, they're still okay producing shitty artwork products, like the, you know, like the glossy ones. You know, this is a company that whatever product they put out, it's meant to be like the best. It's meant like that's what they're aiming for. So,
you know, we didn't discuss this, but I feel like we've talked about Katana sleeves as much as we can. I just want to, while we're talking about deck boxes, throw out a company that I know we both have products from that I think are great deck boxes, and these are like the premium deck box for me, and I think for you, GameGenic.
Yes, I actually have one right in front of me. Just funny enough, I have the GameGenic double deck box, and I think this is the most effective like deck box that I've ever owned. Like, it has multiple purposes, and there are times when we go out and play that there's no point in me bringing 8 decks, not at all. That's what the boulders are for, is like keeping decks at home, but or like to take many decks with you without taking up too much space. But when we're going out, I might play like 2 decks, and if I play 3 decks, I'll just throw a boulder.
And then the GameGenic Stronghold is perfect for that. It's, you know.
Yeah. The Stronghold's like, if you're looking at the camera,
it's the double one with some additional storage.
Yeah, you can fit like what, 5? Like that's
no,
what this...
I think so. The Stronghold does 200 plus, and then I think the Dungeon, they have 2 models. Let's actually, do you have the website up?
Oh, not for GameGenic right now. Let's see.
Okay. But yeah, they have they have the regular 1 deck model. They have the Stronghold, which is the 2 deck model, which I think you have. I have the 1 deck versions, and then they have the Dungeon model in a 5 deck and 10 deck version that look pretty actually, you know what? I have the 5 deck Dungeon. That's the one. That's the long one that I used to bring to game nights.
Yeah. The professor has also done like special products with these guys too, so he obviously respects what they do. So yeah, they're like, the one thing I guess they say with all of their products is alongside the name of it, you know, like Stronghold or whatever, they put the number of cards that are expected to be like in it. So they have like Game Shell 250 plus, the Game Shell XL 650 plus. So their product line is definitely very much designed to set the expectation of like how many cards you can fit in there. And I'm guessing it means the plus means double sleeved. So like you can fit 550 double sleeved cards in a Dungeon 550 plus. So yeah, these are like, this is a line of products that just emerged, I think, after the, like, at least more prominently after the pandemic. And
yeah, they're relatively new on the market. Weren't they with like a Kickstarter initially or something?
Yeah, I'm not sure their like total history. I would have to look and see. I might read more about that and update us on the next episode. But I have yet to actually buy sleeves from them, so they might, you know, like...
Oh, do they have cards? Oh, I'm seeing that now. They have card sleeves.
Yeah, they've expanded their line of products for sure. So... we'll definitely have to check those out and see if we can update our top 5 list. If these guys fall into it.
5 things that we recommend instead of 2 that we recommend.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, like I said, I do recommend the brushed art Dragon Shields if you're looking to be flashier, you know, that artwork fits what you know, what the deck embodies or whatever. But overall, I'm not a drag. Like, I also have a box of Dragon Shields in front of me. These were gifted to me. It's a full box. I've never used it. Like, I've got all this shit laying around, you know, like. But yeah, I will buy some of these sleeves, get out there and test them out, and then be able to update the audience.
Yeah, I'm super interested because, like I said, those Game Genic boxes are amazing.
Right. Yeah, that's a line of products that maybe you're coming up with episode ideas right off the dome, Ritter. Next week?
Hell yeah.
Deck boxes.
Shit. Got a little preview in this episode. You know what our top 2 are already.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, I'm pretty tapped out on this, Ritter. We have one thing left to do, and that is
more crap to talk about.
No. This.
Oh, okay.
This is important. This is how we pick our winner for this week's giveaway, which is the Moxstars signed playmat. Right there. Sorry, camera. I don't know how cameras work. I keep like going the opposite way when I'm trying to like put it in front of the camera. This week we have 22 entrants, lots of people with multiple entrants. Thank you so much for participating either via Patreon or either via commenting on YouTube videos. So thank you for following along. Let us know if there's any more like lucrative ways for you to or more fun ways to interact with us and to enter things. Like, I don't know, I'm trying to keep the bar pretty low. Like, you don't have to subscribe, like, share, jump through 8 hoops to enter. So let me know if there's any more feasible ways of entering. So let's spin this wheel and get going. Here we go. Oh, it's spinning. Can you hear that? It looks like it's Meowserita!
Oh, long time Pepperhead Meowserita.
Yeah. Official Pepperhead Meowserita. Congratulations. You have won yourself an original Moxstars playmat signed by the MENACE. And this week I'll have Flash sign it as well, and we'll get it out into the mail to you. Congratulations. Thank you so much for entering. Thank you to everybody for participating. That being said, this week's giveaway, which I have no idea, maybe on Instagram, I will put a post up, and it's going to be off the wall, that if you comment on it, you like it, and you share it, so 3 hoops to earn this week's prize, you can enter for free. Otherwise, you can enter by becoming a patron for $3 a month. You can become an official Pepperhead, or get 2 free entries by becoming a Cherry Vanilla Pepperhead like UWP Quartz. So this week's giveaway, we're exceeding our Patreon value. That's usually roughly where I like to keep things. But this week we're giving away a copy of Trouble in Pairs. This is the...
Oh, that's a hot card right now.
It is the hottest card. It is the card that I'm hottest on. So this is not a proxy. This is a real version. I bought this. So Trouble in Pairs is this week's giveaway. You can see the Instagram post when this episode launches. Make sure to like, comment, and share it to your story in order to get a free entry. If you don't want to do that, make sure you become a patron. Join our community as an official Pepperhead, and yeah, get that free entry. Anything else to add, Ritter?
Nah, I'm Gucci. I'm good.
Sweet deal. This has been another episode of the Moxstars podcast with your hosts MENACE and Flash. If you'd like a
I don't know that's the best sound effect.
I'm gonna see about
that.
I'm gonna see about editing this soundboard so that we can get, you know, like things going. Like I want the SpongeBob episode where like Patrick's on the radio and he's like, he's just standing there menacingly, you know, like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I feel you.
And then I'll find something for you. If you find something, a soundbite that you want for Flash, we'll put it together. I'll see if I can program this thing to do that.
Okay. Hell yeah.
All right. If you'd like to support the show, you can also find us on YouTube, where you can like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more notifications. You can also support us on all major podcasting platforms by giving us a 5-star review, making us look super cool. I don't know how much cooler we can look now that we've been labeled the bad boy partiers of Magic the Gathering. But
the naughty boys of cardboard.
Yeah. I just got to leave the taglines to you because that's perfect.
That's my wheelhouse. So
yeah, we are the naughty boys of cardboard. And you can also directly support us via Patreon. We've talked about that ad nauseum. And that's pretty much it. You can follow us on Instagram. You can find links for all of our social media down in the description below. Thank you so much for listening. Peace.